All right, you guys, back. And he built it. And he did a bug. Check you out, man.
Yeah, something a little different.
I like it. What do you think, Jay?
It's a good looking build on a new rig, and he's definitely going to put it to the test and let you know his honest opinions about it.
And with these nice round lines, there's a good chance I'm gonna end up tire side down more than I normally do because I roll my rigs.
No, that's cool. Honestly, I love it, dude. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Original.
Yeah, so this was originally for a Yeti. So it's set up for about a 13 to a 13.5 inch wheelbase. I had the kit version, TRX4, which comes at 12.3. I stretched it out with RPM Traxxas tie rod ends. Same thing, 4mm. They're about a 1/2 inch longer. So I got that. I'm gonna stretch the front because I'm not entirely happy with the way the front tires sit within the shell, but this is getting there. As far as building the...
for you.
Okay, thank you, sir. As far as building the kit goes, there is a lot of quality put into this rig. Building the axles, the transmission, I was impressed. Like I said before, I'm not a Traxxas fan, so impressing me ain't easy to do. I pretty much set this truck up for failure out the gate before I even started building it. I've only had one chance to run it. It did all right. It still needs tuning. I shed basically all the fender flares, the front bumpers, the rear bumpers, got a little bit of weight off the truck, but the one thing I could say is out of the box, the weight distribution is horrible on this truck. It cannot get up inclines that my 10.2s made it up easily. A lot of that has to do with the motor forward design with the full pack in the rear. I ran it because that's the way they designed it. I wanted to see what they were thinking. Like I said, it was horrible. I could not keep the front wheels on the ground going up an incline. The other complaints will be the rear shift servo has been a little finicky. I might have overpacked the rear diff a little bit with grease. I'm gonna clean it out and see if that changed the difference.
But before he goes any further, what's funny is sometimes I believe in these Traxxas is hit or miss, because this truck, we beat the living hell, sink it in salt water, never had a problem. Bought that, it doesn't engage the servo. This is ready to run. The open and lock diff, one of them doesn't open. You have to like jam it into gear. So, I mean, you know, with electronics, we all know, you know what I'm saying? It's a hit or miss. And that's why we always crack up, we call this the zombie. You can't kill it, man.
I told him that truck was built on a Wednesday, period. It wasn't built on a Monday or a Friday.
I mean, look, he hates this. Look at that.
Yeah. I don't know, I think it's murdered. That was like painful for me to see how poorly he takes care of that truck.
I've never cleaned this truck.
Never cleaned it. We put the test and test drive, and that's it. Test and test drive. We don't play. Through salt water, off a cliff.
Off a cliff.
Never clean it.
Couple cliffs.
Never cleaned it. Never sprayed it with oil, WD-40. No maintenance.
And we don't recommend that at all.
But we're testing it for you.
You're gonna have to buy it back, Traxxas.
Yeah.
That's a museum piece.
It'd be like the Al Bundy dart when it hit 1,000,000 miles.
That's a relic.
It's a tough cookie, dude. You can't kill it. But I mean, I'll tell you this. This one guy I know, he'll get it down, you know.
I have a couple things I'm doing. So I went with the Castle censored brushless setup with the Mamba Max ESC. I had it on the bench, and I really want to test the strength of the transmission and the gears in this thing, and
Go test it.
that's gonna do it. Period.
But I think we honestly should do forward servo mount with the battery pack up front.
So that is actually bringing up my next point. I just ordered a couple things for it. I ordered the Samix front portal covers.
Oh, the brass ones.
Yeah, the brass ones. Those are fancy. Then I also got the brass servo relocation / bumper mount. So basically that's gonna pull the servo from back here up here, and it's gonna give me a nice thick brass mount. So that should bring a lot of weight up to the front of this truck.
Yeah.
But the battery, I honestly believe owning so many Traxxas is the biggest problem.
For sure.
I do agree with that. It's not placed well. It was an afterthought. I love all the other things that they did. It's pretty much just where they could stick the battery. Now, this weekend when I go out and test, I'm going to be running small packs in the stock battery location to see what difference that brings, because the small packs are obviously lighter, you get less runtime, but you know, even with the small pack, you're going to get 20 to 45 minutes of runtime, even with a trigger finger, you know, like mine, that's real happy. So other than that, let's see what else we got done here. Rocking KYX shock towers, pretty good upgrade.
They look good.
They look good. You know, they're actually one of the more quality products I've seen out of that brand. I've ran them on a couple things. We have the Proline Scalar Pro Spec shocks, because it's just one of my favorite shocks in the game. Chris prefers the actual Traxxas shocks, and to tell you the truth, they're a little bit beefier. Shaft's a little bit bigger. It seems like they hold a little bit more oil, but you know, these have just always been butter smooth.
I've never had a problem with them.
Yeah, see, and I'm the same way with the Proline Scalars, so that's why I swear by those.
But that's what's good. We all have our own perspective. Jay loves Swampers. I'm like, whatever when it comes to those tires. And it's not a big deal. We're family, you know what I'm saying? He likes carrots, I love peas. What the hell?
Yeah, I like the Swampers and the KLRs, but that's me. What else do we got here? So, like Chris said,
What kind of tires you on here?
these are the Proline flat irons.
Okay,
that's
This
right.
is going to be included in our tire test. Pretty much, they're on there just because they're what I had on my bench, and I wanted to go out and play with the rig.
Well, it looks great, dude. With the rim combo on a Bug, you couldn't get more scale.
Right? It does work.
It matches too.
Right? But that brings us, you know, I can't stress enough what Chris said is that, you know, we have one TRX that's just been nothing but dependable, and we flog it. I mean, it's horrible what happens to that truck, and it keeps going. My brand new out-of-the-box kit having rear locking and unlocking issues. His out-of-the-box ready to run, same issues.
Not only that, like to show you, we really drive these things. Look at this. Look at that. Both my quarters both popped open. Like, you know, it's all good. It's part of the hobby. This one has an exo cage, and that really saved it.
Yeah,
You know?
but it does add a lot of that weight up top.
Yeah, it does. That's why this is still my favorite truck. Simple fact is, like, I drive this on my own just to go get my skills up. So when I hang out with these guys, I can crawl with them. They're pretty good crawlers. Don't get it twisted. These guys know what they're doing out here. That's why I like keeping a truck like this around, because it makes you hard. Fill this up and try to crawl?
Oh yeah, it ain't easy.
It's not easy.
It's impossible.
So if you look at this truck, you could see the difference in between mine and that. If you've never owned a Traxxas before, you can see the fact that these mud guards are gone. These shock posts, I mean the body posts that are pretty much attached to the shock towers are gone. I shed a lot of weight because the Traxxas TRX4 out of the box is a really, really heavy truck. I mean, I'm probably about a pound lighter on mine already, and I haven't even gotten to a lot of my extra weight shedding that I'm gonna do to make up for the weight that I'm gonna add up to the front of it. You guys got any questions? Anything you think well answered?
Just to let you guys know, the crawl space on YouTube, I'm gonna set a link in there. Showed me how to get more clearance out of these stock. I love these stock bumpers. I do not want to replace them. So they showed me how to reverse my bumper mount, and I got more clearance up the front. So we're gonna link that. Shout out to the crawl space, you guys. And as far as, we can't wait to see you relocate the battery and relocate the servo. And I'm pretty sure this, after that, this thing is gonna be a crawl monster.
Yeah, I'm building this thing to beat an axial, pretty much. I want to see if it could do it. And then I'm going to say how much money it cost me to beat the axial. But we'll see. I don't think it's going to get the Losi though. That's my little beast, which I took back, by the way.
He did.
I did. I couldn't hit not having that truck.
It's all right. We're brothers, man. Whatever. He got his truck back.
Right. But other than that, you know, the TRX4 it's not a bad truck. It was really built well. I can't stress enough how impressed I am by the way the axles were built. They were overbuilt. Traxxas killed it with that.
That he's so comfortable that he threw a brushless system without even worrying about it.
Yeah. Well, I do want to try to break it.
Yeah,
just for fun.
We both do. Trust me, I've been trying to break this for almost 7 months.
It hasn't really happened yet. So, you know, if you want all the extra shift servos and the 2-speed trans and, you know, just the scaleness of this truck, it will be durable, especially with the Traxxas electronics, because they're waterproof, You know, the motors are cheap and easy to replace if need be. You could run it through water. It will be all good. My only complaint is it just doesn't do inclines out of the box. It will be very tip happy. What do you guys say about these? You've been running them the most out of all of us.
And they are a challenge to get up a hill, and that's why I like a challenge. So if you like a challenge, that's why I'm into these products right here. You know, opening, locking the diffs. He told you when we unboxed this thing that like that's what makes it as close to a real truck as possible. You know, but you don't have to take our word for it. Leave in the comments how you guys feel, and check this out. We're gonna start tuning this bad boy, and we'll get back on the table. NMP, hey, it's always a pleasure to have you, bro,
Right on
the table, man.
Right
And
on.
with that said, hey, you guys, I hope this was informational, and we hope to see you guys on the trail.
Right on. Thank you guys.